The Grand Chamber of the Galactic Council fell silent as Ambassador Tom Jenkins entered. Hundreds of eyes from dozens of species tracked his movements. Some blinked with curiosity, others narrowed with suspicion, and a few widened with undisguised fear. Tom smiled politely, pretending not to notice. After 5 years representing humanity to the galaxy's elder races, he had grown accustomed to being viewed as something between a curiosity and a threat. Humans were newcomers to the interstellar community, and their reputation preceded them: unpredictable, adaptable, and alarmingly resilient. The Council recognizes the human representative, announced High Counselor Vex, the ancient Moran, whose translucent skin revealed the slow pulse of multiple hearts. We understand you have requested this emergency session to discuss the incident at Outpost Krell. Kong cleared his throat. Thank you, High Counselor. I'm here to clarify what happened and hopefully ease some concerns. Ease concerns. The voice belonged to Ambassador Rule of the Pax Confederation, his scales flaring in agitation. A human approached and made physical contact with a Ravager. There are calls across 17 systems to quarantine your entire species. Murmurs rippled through the chamber. Tom sighed internally. The recording had spread faster than expected. If I may explain, Tom began, but was interrupted by Ambassador Lot of the Orcs Dominion. For those unfamiliar, Lot's melodious voice rang out. Ravagers are apex predators from the Thorn Worlds. They have eliminated entire colonization fleets. Their neural venom is fatal to every known sentient species. Their hunting patterns are unpredictable, their intelligence unmeasurable. Every attempt at communication or domestication has resulted in catastrophic loss of life. And yet, rumbled Ambassador Drax from the Shadow Delegation, we have footage of a human stroking one. The main display activated, showing a human woman with gray-streaked brown hair kneeling beside what appeared to be a mountain of iridescent scales and teeth. The creature, easily 3 times her size, had 6 limbs ending in curved talons that could shred battle armor. Its elongated head housed rows of serrated teeth and sensory appendages that could detect prey across vast distances. And there was Lisa Miller, head of xenobiology at Outpost Krell, scratching it behind what passed for ears. The footage showed the Ravager making a sound never before documented, a deep, rhythmic rumbling that caused several council members to recoil in their seats. This is why humans are dangerous, hissed Representative Core. They don't respect natural boundaries. They don't acknowledge proper fear responses. Tom raised his hands in a placating gesture. Dr. Miller is one of our foremost xenobiologists. She observed this juvenile Ravager for weeks before approaching it. She noticed behavioral patterns suggesting it wasn't inherently aggressive. Wasn't aggressive? Ambassador Rule sputtered. It killed 17 security personnel when your outpost detected it. Yes, Tom acknowledged. After they attacked with sonic weapons. Dr. Miller theorized that Ravagers respond to perceived threats rather than hunting indiscriminately. She approached without weapons, projecting calm. Projecting calm and a Ravager, muttered someone in disbelief. There's more to the story, Tom continued. This juvenile was injured, likely separated from his pack during your Confederation's latest extermination effort. Dr. Miller discovered that Ravagers have tactile comfort responses similar to many Earth mammals. The chamber erupted into chaotic debate. High Counselor Vex had to activate the sonic control system to restore order. You're suggesting, Vex said carefully, that the most feared predators in the galaxy like to be petted. Tom smiled slightly. I'm suggesting that our rush to label and fear what we don't understand sometimes blinds us to simple truths. The Ravager is now recovering in our facility. It's been named Max. You named it? Ambassador Lot nearly floated out of his gravity chair in shock. Dr. Miller did, yes. We've learned more about Ravager biology and behavior in 2 weeks than the Council has documented in 3 centuries. They're remarkably intelligent and appear to form strong social bonds. Their aggression seems primarily defensive. High Counselor Vex leaned forward. Ambassador Jenkins, surely you understand the implications. If humans can approach and befriend creatures that every other spacefaring race rightfully fears, What does that suggest about your species? The question hung in the air. Tom considered his words carefully. It suggests, perhaps, that humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology or our adaptability, but our capacity to see beyond fear. Throughout our history, we've feared the unknown, other tribes, other ideas, other species. But we've also overcome that fear, again and again, to discover connection where others saw only threat. He gestured to the frozen image of Dr. Miller and Max. Lisa didn't approach that ravageur because she's fearless or reckless. She did it because she saw past her fear to recognize a creature in pain. That's the humanity I'm proud to represent. The chamber remained silent for several moments before Ambassador Drax spoke from the shadows. The Shadow Concordat moves to establish a joint research initiative with humans regarding Ravager rehabilitation. One by one, other representatives voiced cautious support, though many remained visibly unsettled. As the session concluded, High Counselor Vex approached Tom privately. Your Dr. Miller has appended centuries of understanding with one simple act. Tom nodded. Humans have a saying, sometimes the bravest thing isn't drawing your weapon, but offering your hand. The High Counselor's ancient eyes studied Tom. We wondered why you humans advanced so quickly, surviving catastrophes that should have ended your civilization. Now I begin to understand. You don't just conquer fear, you transform it into connection. As Tom left the chamber, his communication device chimed with a message from Dr. Miller. Max has started playing with the enrichment toys. Also, I think he's purring. Some boundaries in the galaxy had just been forever redrawn, not by treaties or weapons, but by a human who chose to pet the most dangerous creature in the known universe.